Have you ever thought about the fact that our lives are continually governed by inescapable laws? Take, for example, the law of gravity. It keeps us connected to the earth beneath us. And then you have all the laws of motion that allow us to move freely. It is evident that our world is ruled by numerous natural laws, which makes life on earth possible. But then there is a whole different set of laws that connect with our sense of what is right and wrong. We have all said things like, "That is not fair," or "Why did you do that?" or "Why didn't you keep your promise?" We comment on each other's behavior based on the idea that there actually is a standard on how to behave. Most people wouldn't say that these rules are not valid for them, but even those who would say that there is no behavioral obligation expect a moral fairness of others towards them. We all want to be treated fair, honest, and in a truthful way. It's interesting to note that when someone is actually caught and proved guilty of lying about something, they will often try to excuse themselves based on circumstances. I had to say it that way because of fill in the blank, or I actually meant it like this because, again, fill in the blank. There is not an attempt to make lying appear okay, but rather an excuse why things were said the way they were. Even by excusing behavior, we are in essence acknowledging a certain standard of truth. If we wouldn't believe that these behavioral laws exist, we would not need to feel that we have to excuse ourselves. Have you ever found yourself in an argument with somebody trying to convince them that you are right and they are wrong? This wouldn't really make sense if there is ultimately no standard for what is right and wrong. We see how ethical values have been consistent throughout time and culture. Though there has been a variation of their expressions, basic moral principles have been similar in every civilization and society. For example, selfishness in general has never been seen as virtuous or honorable. There have been differences as to whom we should show selfless love, but the actual characteristic has always been valued. Whenever you buy a new technological gadget, it always comes with an instruction manual, so you can learn how it functions best and how you can utilize it best. So here's the big question. Does the human race have an instruction manual to guide our lives so we can function the way we are designed to? Does God as our designer have a law of life for us? The Bible presents to us the law of God, also known as the Ten Commandments. Now, when we hear the words law and commandments, perhaps immediately we think about restrictions, just like there are civil laws that we feel restrict us at times. Most of us have had those moments where we just wish there wasn't a speed limit. However, looking at the larger picture, I am sure we can conclude that ultimately we can be happy for traffic laws that protect human lives every single day. Could it be that the law of God actually provides protection and security in a world that is spinning out of control? Not only does the law of God provide protection, it also introduces relationships. To be more precise, it describes the ideal relationship with God and with those around us. Jesus summed up the law in this way: love your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. A closer look at the Ten Commandments reveal that the first 4 of the commandments deal with our love towards God. The latter 6 commandments reveal our love for those around us. Amongst the first 4 commandments is the invitation to set aside time to spend with God. This is exactly how a loving relationship is developed. And think about the commandments dealing with how we should treat those around us. We don't love those around us if we steal from them, or kill them, or lie to them. Again, a closer look at the Ten Commandments shows us that the law of life is founded on the principle of selfless love. The world would definitely be a better place if these laws were embraced in the hearts of men and women. In the world around us, we see how natural laws have immediate consequences. If someone jumps from a high building, the law of gravity shows no mercy. The person jumping may say that he doesn't respect the law of gravity, but he will still fall. A smoker may say that he doesn't care about the laws of health. However, every time he inhales the cigarette, it will have a negative effect on his body. When we stay faithful to instruction manuals in life, things work better. A while back, my wife thought she was getting a good deal on petrol for our car, but she ended up putting in diesel instead. Needless to say, the whole situation did not turn out as cheap as we thought. Certain things are simply made to work in certain ways, and it all has a purpose. So it is when we break the law of life, it will also have consequences. Unlike the law of gravity, which we do not choose, God's law involves a choice. When we break the law of life, we might not always see the immediate consequences, but nonetheless it will affect us. Guilt, shame, restlessness, remorse, and bad memories is something many carry with them throughout their lives. Our character develops bad habits based on repeated actions in violation of the law of life. All these things are a result of selfishness, and it affects our relationship to God and people around us. On the contrary, abiding by the law of life gives us an inner peace and true happiness. There is a contentment in living the way we are designed to live. Loving God and others in a selfless way brings true joy and satisfaction. We ourselves, along with everybody around us, will be benefited. However, the law of God is not just something we can choose to live by. Even if we accept this law, our experience tells us that we cannot keep it fully in our own strength. The incredible message of Scripture is that the very one who gave us the law is the same one who has promised to give us the strength to follow it. God has given His law not to restrict us, but to set us free.